London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. This is not about no fucking London Bridge. This is about some wicked biatch named Miss London. And when I was younger, about a decade or so, I was like barely 20 years old, and I was sent to the pediatric unit in Rusk Institute. And they put me in with a lady who was really sick in the head, to be honest with you. I was in a room where, I got to transfer in and out of my wheelchair because I'm a quadriplegic. I was really between a curtain and the radiator, and I couldn't really move because she had her son's bed pushed over so far. She had a fan for the kid. She put up decorations on the long strip of the, how can I say, the long strip of the uh, light bulb, the fluorescent lights, and she also covered up the door with shit like it was her house. You couldn't even get to the sink because she had all her shit over there. She basically would wake up 5 o'clock in the morning and put on channel 13 so this kid could watch Clifford the Big Red Dog. Now, he was 9 years old or 10 years old, but she treated him like he was 3 or a baby. And granted, that's her baby. And he was like, he didn't speak too much, and he was, I don't know how to explain it, but he understood everything. And then he would kind of look at you like up his nose or turn away. He had an attitude problem because his parents babied him and he had the superiority complex. And then when I would put on like MTV or something like that, she would complain about me, and she eventually tried to warm up to me, so I would try to warm up to her, being that we were in the same room. But what she did was, my family eventually reported it because it was unhealthy living conditions, and she told the social worker, tell that kid not to ask me for nothing. So, you're a snotty bitch. I was a young kid. Um, just this is the first time I was away from my family. I mean, my aunt would see me as much as possible. She lived right there. She even gave the kid a birthday gift, Christmas gift, and Halloween stuff. And they were just so ungrateful. Um, Eventually, the staff had to move me out with younger adults, teens, and stuff like that, so that I could be around people more relatable that play video games and stuff like that. So, she told the lady across the hall who had a daughter that was a little older than me that it was hell before, now it's heaven without me. That she allowed my grandfather to put the briefcase in our closet that we were sharing. It was not just your room, motherfucker. It was my room too. That lady was so prejudiced and so pompous, and she's sick in the head, and something's wrong with her. And her husband, too. Her husband was cool. And he even said, my wife's a bitch, she's white trash, she's this and that. One day I had a cold and I was minding my own business and wheeling in the hallway. And he came up to me, oh, you're coughing, don't go near your son. don't go near my son because you're an adult, you should know better. I never had somebody throw it in my face so much that I was an adult. First of all, I was barely an adult, and I wouldn't call a 20-year-old person that much of an adult because just trust me. Anyway, um, she was full of shit. She was a miserable bitch. And one time we were laughing and joking in our own room when I moved out, and she had the nerve and tell us, "You jerks are keeping up my son." She thought she ran the place. She would walk around with a coffee mug. She would walk around and use the showers. She would walk around and do whatever. She acted like she owned the place. And then when my friend who had a trachea, who needed that other side of the room, they moved me over to that bed to give me a little more space so that I could transfer easily. But I didn't have no TV. I used the cart from the recreation room that had the PS2, and she had the nerve to say, I'm using that. So I had no TV. And then they would use the TV that was on my side when I was on the other side. So talk about selfish. She's a piece of shit. And if I really did have a relationship with my mother, as much as she's shitty to me, the warped kind of sick mind that my mother has is that I could fuck with him, husband can abuse him or whatever, I can abuse him, but nobody messes with mine. If that was the case, and if I really unleashed my granddad on you, because believe me, he wanted to tell you to go fuck yourself so bad, Miss London, that um that would have been the case. And so, especially since I was a person of color, she was really racist. So you know what? Miss Fat Big Fat Bitchy London, go fuck yourself. Peace.